The Delhi Sultanate. The Islamic culture was introduced in India by the Arabs. In the beginning of 8th century, the Arabs under Muhammad bin Qasim conquered Sindh and Multan. But the victories were short-lived because of the death of Muhammad Qasim in 716 AD. Foundation of the Turkish rule in India was laid by Muhammad Ghori. In 1192, he defeated Prithviraj Chauhan, the ruler of Ajmer and Delhi. But he went back to Ghazni and left his able general Kutubuddin Aibak in charge of his territories in India. Muhammad Ghori died in 1206 AD. Kutubuddin Aibak laid the foundation of Delhi Sultanate under a new dynasty called the Slave Dynasty, or also known as the Mamluk Dynasty. The Delhi Sultanate was ruled by 5 dynasties sequentially. The flowchart of the 5 Delhi Sultanate dynasties is given on the slide along with their rulers. Children, you can pause and read it carefully. Alauddin Khalji, 1296 to 1316 AD. Alauddin Khilji raided Malwa and Gujarat and also defeated the Rajput rulers of Ranthambore and Chittor. The task of conquest of Deccan, the 4 wealthy kingdoms of the Deccan, Yadavs of Devagiri, Kakatiyas of Varanangal, Hoysala of Dwarsamudra, and Pandya kingdom with its capital at Madurai, was entrusted upon the military commander Malik Kafur. Malik Kafur captured an immense booty. The southern kingdoms were not annexed, but its rulers acknowledged the lordship of Delhi Sultanate and paid him tribute in return for peace and protection. During Alauddin's rule, the Mongols were defeated. Alauddin's revenue and administrative measures. Alauddin initiated a series of revenue and administrative measures to increase his resources. He stopped all land grants made as gifts to Muslim landlords or Muslim clerics. The Hindu landlords, called the Mukaddams or the Chaudharis, were treated very harshly. The Sultan tried to regulate the prices of goods as well, as this would help the common people, especially the soldiers. Market regulations. Control of the market was an astonishing achievement of Alauddin Khalji. As he maintained a large army on relatively small pay, he had to ensure that his soldiers got all essential commodities at a very low price. He did this by regulating the prices of the food grains, sugar, cooking oil, cloth, horse, cattle, slaves, and other commodities. The traders had to sell all commodities at the fixed price. The 2 officers called Diwan-e-Riyasat and Shan-e-Mandi used to see the enforcement of the regulation. Those who violated the regulations were severely punished. Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Muhammad bin Tughlaq, 1320 to 1414, was the most remarkable ruler of his age. He is known in the history for his policies and failures. The taxation of dhob, transfer of capital, token currency are some of his well-known policies. The failure of his schemes affected the prestige of the sovereign and led to a widespread discontent. His schemes, fomented repeated rebellions in many parts of the kingdom. Muhammad bin Tughlaq himself died fighting the rebellions in Sindh in 1351. Now children, let's study about his policies and failures. Taxation in Dwab. Muhammad Tughlaq wanted to raise the revenues by 5 to 10% by increasing the land tax and a few other taxes. In 1326, he increased the taxation in the Dwab region. Unfortunately, there was a severe famine in Dwab because of the failure of rain. The Sultan's officers collected the taxes mercilessly. As a result, the cultivators were forced to abandon their lands. The Sultan tried to help the cultivators by giving them loan, but since the people had nothing to eat, they utilized the loans to meet their basic needs. As a result, even the usual revenue could not be collected from Doab. Thus, Muhammad Tughlaq's scheme of the taxation in Doab failed completely. Transfer of capital. In 1327, Muhammad Tughlaq decided to transfer his capital from Delhi to Devagiri with a view to have the capital situated in the middle of his kingdom. Moreover, Delhi was continuously threatened by the Mongol raids. So the Sultan wanted his capital to be at a safer distance from the invaders. The Sultan ordered his people to shift to Devagiri, which he renamed as Daulatabad. The inhabitants of Delhi did not like the forced move to the new capital, as Daulatabad was more than 1500 kilometers away from Delhi. People suffered greatly from fatigue, hardship, and mental torture on the way. Very soon, the Sultan was convinced of the failure of his scheme, so he ordered the people to return to their homes in Delhi. Thus, the scheme was a complete failure. Token currency. In 1329, Muhammad Tughlaq introduced token currency and he proclaimed that brass and copper coins were to have the same use or function as that of gold and silver coins. Soon the gold and the silver coins disappeared from the market as the forged copper coins manufactured by people at their home came into circulation. Trade and business came to stand still. This experiment of token currency of Muhammad Tughlaq also failed. We will continue with the lesson in the next video, in which children we will study about Qutub Minar and the administration of the Delhi Sultanate. Till then, thank you and stay blessed.